Well, 8 days left to get a spending deal done. This as an immigration battle is underway, so there's a lot of negotiating, but no firm deal in sight as of yet to the Washington Free Beacon's Liz Harrington on where this all goes from here. Liz.
Hey, so yes, we have 8 days to not only get the government funded, but also the sequester caps will kick in on January 19th. And you have this looming immigration battle. So you have not a lot of time to get a big deal, and it's especially difficult when the Democrats aren't willing to negotiate on anything. They want the DREAM Act, they want DACA in exchange for nothing on border security, the wall, or anything. So that's not really how you negotiate. That's not the art of the deal. So I don't think you're going to see a deal in 8 days if that's how the Democrats are approaching it.
So there's essentially, we're talking about kicking the can down the road again, a phrase that's been used over and over again. Paul Ryan more or less admitting as such just moments before the show aired. And yet you wonder, because the American public has always voiced so much frustration about this, they can't get anything else done in Washington until they get this done, can they?
Right. I think a lot of people are really tired of this. We've seen it throughout the past, since Obama was president, just continuously continuing resolutions, constantly kicking the can down the road, not getting a long-term deal, whether it was Obama in office or Trump now. But at least Trump here, he said, hey, DACA, it was unconstitutional. President Obama did it unilaterally. It wasn't legal. We're going to give you a deadline of March 5th. You get it done if this is what you say you want, but here are my demands. We want the wall. And so at least he's making them, if they kick the can down the road on spending, they can't do that on DACA because that will end on March 5th.
So what's your sense right now, particularly after that historic meeting, 55-minute meeting that we all were privy to watch, both sides of the aisle, opponents of President Trump, the ability to push back right there sitting at the table next to him. What's your feeling? How did that meeting propel this situation, and do you think we'll get a deal done?
Well, I think that does propel it forward. I mean, here you have a president that's willing to let the cameras in, say what his demands are, and let plenty of Democrats get their say. And they really didn't say anything other than, we want to fix this for Dreamers. They didn't really offer any concessions. But I think the fact that Trump is willing to bring them in, say this is what I want, this is where we're willing to work on Dreamers, but in exchange for these things, that should motivate them because, look, the American people are watching. They see that Trump is willing to negotiate. He wants to get a deal done. It's now on the Democrats' terms if they want to be willing to negotiate and concede on anything. And as far as we've seen now, they haven't done so, but that meeting can't do anything but help them get motivated by the voters because they see that they're so unwilling to negotiate with them.
Yeah, it certainly makes the hashtag resist, an embarrassment of. Let me just also, I think what's happening now is President Trump has sort of tweaked the way he even speaks about the wall, and it brings to mind the fact that Democrats themselves voiced, support for a border fence and greater border security, and even passed laws to have that happen and never funded it. So they're on the record for wanting the same sort of protection, on our southern border, aren't they?
Right. This wasn't controversial until President Trump was for it, right? And they can pretend all they want that the wall is unpopular now, but the fact of the matter is it was Trump's signature campaign issue. It was the biggest applause line at his rallies. The American people do want the border secure. They may also support getting a fix on DACA, but they also don't want to prop up sanctuary cities anymore. They want E-Verify. They want the border wall. These are all things that are popular and something that the Democrats should be willing to negotiate on, especially the fact that you have so many on the record that were for border security, were for a fence that just never actually got built under George W. Bush.
Yeah, Liz Harrington, thank you very much. Great stuff. Appreciate it.